Two young men leave their home, chasing dreams of a better life in Europe. But what they face on their journey is far worse than their worst nightmares. Seydou and Moussa are cousins living in Dakar, Senegal. Even though they are 16, they want to make life easier for themselves and their family. To make that happen, they decide to take the risk and travel to Italy on that treacherous journey. Every day, Seydou is woken up by the sound of his siblings playing inside the house as everyone sleeps in the same room. Even though he gets angry, he knows the solution isn't fighting with them. Today is a special day in Dakar since it is Saba, a traditional festival in Senegal, and everyone is preparing to go except for Seydou and Moussa. Seydou goes to Moussa's place and tells him to hurry up because they need to be somewhere. Seydou's mother asks him not to go out because they are going to Saba, but he tells her that he has a football match today and leaves. But there isn't any football match. Instead, Seydou and Moussa secretly work at a construction site to save money for their journey. After each payday, they save the money in a sack buried in the sand. After a long working day, they go to where their money is hidden, and Seydou tells Moussa that they are very close to making it. At night, Seydou and Moussa go to Sarr, where the whole village has gathered. Everyone is dancing and partying, children and adults alike. Seydou and Moussa join in by playing a drum-like instrument. After the party, Seydou tells his mother that he wants to go to Europe and work there. But his mother is shocked because she knows this journey has claimed many lives. He tries to explain that he wants to help her and the family financially and that there aren't many opportunities here. She tells him he can't leave and she doesn't want him to end up dead in the middle of the desert or sea. After hearing this, Seydou tells her that he's just kidding and would never leave her. In the morning, Seydou's mother goes to Moussa's and scolds him for putting such ideas in her son's mind. Moussa plays dumb and tells her he knows nothing about a trip to Europe. Seydou arrives and tells her it was just a joke, but she doesn't believe him. On their way to school, Moussa is angry that Seydou almost ruined their plan and tells him to keep their secrets to themselves since only they are as determined as they are. In the following weeks, Seydou and Moussa collect money by working at various places and prepare for their upcoming journey. In their free time, Seydou writes songs because he dreams of becoming a musician one day. Finally, they save enough money to get them to Europe and start looking for brokers. They find a guy named Cisco, who immediately tells them that Europe is not the heaven they imagine. Cisco warns them that homelessness and the cold weather make Europe no better than Africa, and what they see on TV is not completely true. He tells them they will likely die on the journey, as many have died trying to cross the desert. Seydou is shocked to hear this, but Moussa convinces him that there's nothing to fear since they're together in this and shouldn't let their dreams slip away, especially after preparing for months. Seydou is still not convinced, so they visit a religious leader who tells them to talk to their ancestors and pray. Seydou and Moussa do as they are told, asking for blessings and forgiveness from their families. When they return to the religious leader, he tells them that they are now ready to depart. That night, Seydou watches his family playing together one last time, his eyes filled with tears. After everyone falls asleep, Seydou prepares for the journey, but his little sister wakes up and asks to go with him. He puts her back to bed, telling her that he's not going anywhere, but he leaves once she's asleep. Seydou and Moussa then board a bus and begin their journey. They travel for days, passing through many cities and countries as they make their way to Mali. Before they can continue, they need new passports and have to pay for them. Although it's a lot, they have no other choice, so they agree. They take pictures and are given new names and Mali passports to progress to the next country, Niger. However, as soon as they arrive in Niger, the border patrol sees their passports and notices that they are wearing the same clothes as in the passport photo, which is supposedly from 2 years ago. The border patrol asks them to pay a bribe or go to jail. They give him what he asks for and continue their journey. In Niger, a broker contacts them, asking if they're heading to Libya, which they are. The price he asks is high, but they have no choice, so they agree. The broker then takes them to a house where many people are waiting for the truck to take them to Libya. At night, a man tells everyone that the Sahara Desert, which they will have to cross to get to Libya, is very dangerous. He warns them to hide their money, or rebel groups will take it. He tells them not to hide it in ordinary places like their shoes. Instead, he advises them to shove their money up their arse. In the morning, Moussa does as he's told, hiding their money, and they prepare for the most dangerous part of their journey. Seydou and Moussa along with many other immigrants, get on the back of pickup trucks. But the trucks drive at very high speeds, bouncing on the rough road. Suddenly, one of the immigrants falls from the truck, but the driver doesn't stop and leaves the person behind. Seeing this, Seydou and Moussa hold on tighter than ever. But that's not the worst part. The truck stops halfway, and they're told they must continue on foot. With no other choice, they walk on the endless sand under the scorching desert heat. They walk non-stop for days until Seydou hears a woman begging for help. Her legs are burnt from the hot sand, and Seydou runs to help her. He gives her his water, but she's too weak to get up. The guy doesn't stop, and neither do the people following him. Moussa tells Seydou to leave the woman behind, warning him that if they stop, they'll lose the group and become stranded in the desert. Seydou has no choice but to leave her, even though he daydreams about bringing her with them. After a few days in the desert, rebel groups catch them and demand they hand over their money. The rebels search everyone but find nothing. Then they give them laxatives to make sure no one is hiding anything. After checking everyone's stool, they find the hidden stash of money on Moussa. They get angry and take him away, even though Seydou begs them to take him too. Seydou is now separated from his cousin and must continue the journey alone. A few days later, Seydou and the remaining group are taken to a rebel-run prison in Sabha, Libya, held in a container. Upon arrival, they are divided by nationality and told to call their families to send money. The rebels show them what happens to those who don't call, torturing many people. Seydou is terrified, especially after seeing dead bodies in the torture room. Some people agree to call their families, but Seydou knows his family doesn't have that kind of money, so he refuses. Seydou and the others are tortured through the night and locked in a cell in the morning. Later, Seydou dreams of visiting his mother and asking for her forgiveness for leaving her. An angel-like figure takes him to his hometown to see his mother, but he is awakened by his cellmates. Then, the mafias arrive at the cell and ask for skilled workers. When they ask for builders, a man named Martin says he is a skilled builder and works with the help of Seydou. They are then sold to another mafia group for their skills and are transported to a house in the middle of the desert. Seydou and Martin begin working on the wall, with Martin guiding Seydou on how to build. Martin shows him pictures of his family and Seydou shares that his father died when he was just a child. Not a single day passes without Seydou thinking about Moussa, and he hopes to find him once they reach Tripoli. After finishing the wall, Martin is asked to build a fountain because of the great job he did on the walls. Martin promises to build an even better fountain, and the boss gives him his word that he will pay for their transport to Tripoli if they do a good job on the fountain. Martin and Seydou waste no time and start building the fountain. When they finish, the boss loves their work and sets them free by paying for their trip to Tripoli. When they arrive, Seydou asks around for Moussa, but no one seems to know him. Martin then tells Seydou that he is going to Europe and asks him to come along. But Seydou doesn't want to leave without Moussa. Martin bids farewell and leaves. Seydou jumps from one Senegalese village to another, searching for his cousin, but Moussa is nowhere to be found. A kind Senegalese man offers Seydou a place to stay, and Seydou starts working in Tripoli. After a few weeks, a group of Senegalese people arrive, and Seydou runs to check if Moussa is among them. He finds Moussa lying down and can't believe his eyes. He hugs him and they rejoice, but Moussa is injured. While trying to escape prison, Moussa was shot in the leg. Moussa then tells Seydou that they should return to Senegal because they've been through hell. Seydou convinces him to keep moving forward, saying that all they've been through would be for nothing if they turn back now. Moussa is eventually convinced, but before they can go anywhere, Moussa's leg must be treated. After seeing a construction worker with little medical knowledge, he tells them it's a clean wound, but they still have to worry about infections. After buying some medicine, Moussa is treated well, but he still needs proper medical attention. With time running out on Moussa's leg, Seydou goes to some brokers who organize the final part of the journey, a boat trip to Italy by sea. However, Seydou doesn't have enough money to pay for both of them, and the broker tells him it's not possible. Seydou begs the broker, explaining that Moussa is injured and needs urgent medical attention. The broker agrees to send them, but only if Seydou drives the boat. The problem is that Seydou has never been on the water, let alone driven a boat. The broker tells him he'll show him how, and Seydou agrees. Seydou rushes to tell Moussa the news. The two prepare for the journey and head to the camp where they will stay before departure. The broker then gives Seydou a quick 5-minute lesson on how to drive the boat and tells him to call a number if there's any trouble. For directions, Seydou is told to keep the boat heading north, and they'll reach Italy in one day. That night, Seydou sees how many people he will be taking and tells the broker he can't do it. He can't be responsible for all these lives. But the broker tells him it's already decided and Seydou must do it. That night, Seydou takes many immigrants on the boat and begins the journey. After just a few hours, they see lights and think they've already reached Italy. But as they get closer, they are disappointed to find it's only an oil port. The next day, a pregnant woman is in pain and Seydou calls the emergency number. A woman picks up and tells him there's nothing she can do because the Maltese Coast Guards aren't responding. And the Italians say there's nothing they can do unless the boat reaches their territory. The next day, they find people in the engine room who are very sick and need water. This causes chaos on the boat as people start fighting over the drinking water. Seydou tells them to calm down, promising no one will die. He urges them to share what they have if they want to make it out alive. After this incident, 2 quiet days pass and finally they see land, Sicily, Italy. The people celebrate on the boat because their dream of reaching Italy has finally come true. Seydou climbs to the top of the boat as an Italian helicopter approaches, shouting that he is the captain of the ship and that no one has died. The movie ends with Seydou shouting in joy and pride, having kept his promise of bringing everyone safely to Italy. Lastly, as we conclude Seydou and Moussa's incredible journey, we witness the courage and resilience of those chasing a better life. If you found their journey inspiring, please like this video and subscribe for more powerful stories. Your support helps us continue sharing these important narratives. Thank you for watching.